safety, the conversation almost always begins with an advice given to women. Don't walk alone at night, avoid certain places, be careful, share me your location. But this raises an important question. Why has safety become something that women must constantly manage on their own? Women's safety has been framed largely as a personal responsibility of a woman, while in reality, it is a collective social responsibility that belongs to all of us. Let me share a small example. A friend of mine, Anisha, who works at a corporate office, once shared an experience with me. One evening while leaving work, she was waiting for the elevator on the 15th floor. When the doors opened, there was just one man standing inside. She froze. Then a strange thought crossed her mind. If she chose not to enter the elevator, it might seem like she was judging him. But if she stepped inside, she would be alone with a stranger in a closed metal box for the next few floors. That moment of hesitation wasn't really about that man as an individual. It reflected something deeper. The constant calculations every woman makes, not once, not occasionally, but almost every single day just to feel safe. I saw those calculations happening around me, and as a computer science student, my immediate instinct was to build a system to fix this. For the past year and a half, I have poured my energy into researching and developing a women's safety ecosystem. I lived in the lab. I built an app designed to call the police in distress even if a phone is out of reach. An app to map you the safest route to your destination. And an app to protect a women's digital presence. As a line of defense, this piece of technology was a massive success. And I thought I got the ultimate answer. But when I showed it to a woman I knew, she asked me a question that changed everything. She said, yes, this app will help me in an emergency. But how will this app stop that man in the bus who stares at me every day, where I have to face the other way just to ignore the danger? This is where I realized a harsh truth. No app in the world can stop women from having to making those exhausting calculations in the first place. Yes, a code can react to a crisis, but it cannot rewrite human behavior. Sometimes, the difference between an unsafe situation and a safe one is whether the people around are aware, responsible, and willing to act. Imagine the opposite of the elevator incident. What if the man in the elevator had simply just took a step back to the corner, or just intentionally avoided eye contact just to give her that space? A tiny adjustment, a quiet display of awareness, and a basic level of respect. It is a silent language that clearly says you are safe here. And when small gestures like these become common in a society, we begin to shape how safe a space feels. Because safety is not only about laws and surveillance cameras, it is about how we as a society can make it comfortable and safer for them. So today I want to share 3 simple things, 3 small habits that every man can practice to help make places feel more comfortable and safer for them. The first is respecting space. Many uncomfortable moments happen when the personal space is ignored, like standing too close, blocking someone's path, or unintentionally cornering someone to a small area. Respecting space means being aware of how your physical presence affects others. Imagine you're sitting next to a woman in a crowded bus. Instead of leaning into the shared space, simply adjusting your posture, keeping your hands visible, and maintaining a respectful distance can quietly communicate that you are mindful of her comfort. The second is making your intentions clear. Uncertainty often creates discomfort. And when someone cannot easily understand your intention, even normal situations can feel stressful. Clear, respectful signals can reduce this uncertainty. Imagine you're walking behind a woman at night. Instead of silently following her, just maybe slowing yourself down, creating a distance, or pretending you are using your phone, signaling that you are not trying to approach her. Small signals like these reduce ambiguity and make interactions feel more predictable and safe. The third and the most important one is not being a silent bystander. Many uncomfortable situations continue not because no one notices them, but because everyone assumes someone else will respond. If someone is making inappropriate comments to a woman, following her, creating discomfort, even small interventions can matter. Sometimes it can be as small as asking, "Is everything okay?" These three actions may sound small. In fact, they are small. But only because of these gestures by people like you and me, women no longer have to constantly calculate the risk of simply existing in public. Women's safety is not a concrete wall built in a day. It is a massive mosaic. A mosaic still full of empty spaces. An SOS app or a bottle of pepper spray in her pocket is just a tiny piece of that incomplete mosaic. And that mosaic will remain incomplete until you and I fill in the blanks. A blank space is a stranger who gives her room to breathe on a bus. A blank space is a guy who tells his friend to stop making inappropriate comments. And a blank space is a guy who treats her the way she deserves. In that elevator, Anisha wasn't afraid of a monster. She was afraid of a stranger. And to every woman walking alone tonight, sitting on a bus, waiting in a lobby, we are all strangers. But we have that power to decide exactly what kind of stranger we are going to be. So the next time you share a space with a woman, remember that you have a choice. You can either let her make those exhausting calculations, or you can make a small choice that says, "You don't have to worry about me." Let's stop asking women to stay safe and start being the reason they are. Thank you.